Recording.
Good morning and welcome to Digest with the Best with Gina and Bex. The Bergamo Show is back. We're going to try and be doing these at least twice monthly, ideally Saturday mornings, so that you guys can upload and watch the recording over the weekend and get yourselves set for the week. So today we're going to focus on the one thing that even the Queen does. We're going to talk about our digestion and how we can improve it, and why basically it's so important. So we've set up a little slideshow. Gina, are you going to be the mastermind of the slideshow?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
She's going to set it going. And for those of you who've watched these before, you know Gina and I, we have to nudge each other along because we get chatting about other stuff. So without further ado, let's move on to that next slide. So I think a good place to start would always be, what is good digestion? And Gina got us this amazing little definition right here of a healthy gut is usually functioning properly when you have a bowel movement, which we may refer to as BM moving forward. 1 to 2 times daily that is well formed and easy to pass. Thanks for that, Gina. I wish I'd have read this beforehand. So I don't know. There's a lot of predetermined ideas on what good digestion is, but that is your facts, ladies and gents. That is the facts. So Gina, can you talk us through some of the unattractive, potentially common signs of an unhealthy gut?
Yes. And I was telling Bex just this morning as I was thinking about the gut and digestion. When I first started using doTERRA, I was thinking back and I was like, my gut was a mess. And I think that, I started with the calming oils for like stress, but as we're going to learn, that's all linked to your gut. So anyway, I did not have that definition of a healthy digestion at all. And so it was painfully ugly. And so I won't tell the whole story now, but I guess I'm just going to tell you that some of the things Bex and I are going to talk about, doTERRA products specifically and cleansing, helped me hugely. And it's a process. So I know unhealthy gut, leaky gut, like all that is a huge problem for Americans, especially. I can't speak for the British, but it's bad. And I know a lot of people suffer and it's painful. And it's so, it is a process. You can't just like overnight fix your gut. It's a process. No. And we'll talk about it. So, common signs of an unhealthy gut. So stomach discomfort, gas, bloating, loose stools, constipation, abdominal pain, fatigue. So this could be due to an imbalance in the gut microbiome, which we're going to talk about. Sugar cravings could be due to an overabundance of bad bacteria. Unintentional weight changes. That could be linked to the Western diet, which is high in fat and carbohydrates. Skin irritation. And this I just really learned about like in the past 7 years about how much our skin issues, eczema, which is a huge issue, right?
Yep.
Psoriasis. That is very much linked to the gut. Did you want to chime in here, Bex?
No, I'm just like, yep.
Yes.
Eczema, huge. Skin issues, we'll get there. But it's I personally really benefited from healing my gut, and my eczema has disappeared.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't think about that connection at all. They just want to put some steroids and some cream on it and make it go away because it's uncomfortable, but you have to work on your gut. Allergies as well. So I think that's very fascinating, and so many people suffer from allergies. And what are they really suffering from? Some gut issues, unfortunately. Right. Autoimmune conditions, another thing that is just huge. What a buzzword, right? Like that's that more and more people are being diagnosed with these conditions. And I actually have a girlfriend who was having some really bad stomach problems, and she tried all these different things, and then she changed her diet, and she's like, it's gone, Gina. And I was like, she's like, nobody ever told me though. Like, they don't tell you that, a lot of physicians, I don't know what the deal is. Mood issues, so we're going to talk about that as well, could be due to gut disturbances and inflammation in the central nervous system. It can be causes of anxiety and depression. So another huge issue, right? And then migraines. So all of these things can be linked to your gut.
Definitely. So before I move through this next slide, I will share a little bit about my personal journey. You all know me by now, but I have always suffered with allergies, serious allergies. I have anaphylaxis to all nuts, which has significantly decreased since I've had children. But also, since I've had children, I've also started using natural alternatives and essential oils. So I'm not sure whether it was the child or the change in my lifestyle, which I think we all know what I truly believe there. So I always have had terrible allergies. I've always had seasonal flare-ups, terrible sinus issues, migraines, eczema, acne, many of these different things. And I honestly I truly can say I rarely suffer with these things anymore. And I think it is because I'm much more mindful about what I'm putting into my body and does it serve me, and then how to keep all of my body functioning correctly, which kind of leads me onto this slide. And that's why I wanted to share this, because a lot of people will say, well, I don't have gut issues, so I don't really need to add a probiotic to my life, or I go to the bathroom every morning like clockwork. I don't, I use I don't know, they'll maybe use something the doctor's prescribed and it's improved and now they go to the bathroom all the time. I don't need to add a digestive enzyme to my diet. I don't need to think about what my liver's doing, or the way my digestive tract is producing its elimination, right? I don't need to think of, because I'm good. And all I can say is please, please, please keep in mind that we're incredibly adaptive. As humans, we quickly adapt to what's around us. And so our body is amazing at functioning to its fullest whenever, with whatever you give it, basically. It's not like if you put diesel in a petrol car and it breaks. With a body, you can feed it rubbish and it will still function decently for as long as it possibly can, right? It's not an immediate reaction. And so I think learning about how to fuel your body correctly and how to support your organs correctly, you would be surprised that even if you think you have a healthy gut, you probably didn't know what it was like to feel that good. And the only way you can truly experience how good that can feel would be through some kind of detox. So just bear that in mind, that even if you think, I'm fine, I don't have a gut issue, your gut is only performing as well as you're allowing it. If you give it what it truly needs, you're going to be shocked, truly. And I've experienced it myself.
Yeah. And if you have some of those other issues like allergies and eczema, and you think your gut is functioning normally, like that's a really good thing to look at, right? Look at your gut, look at what you're eating, look at how it's affecting you.
And it's an easy thing to work with. I'm not telling you to go to the gym and lift weights for 2 hours a day, or, I'm just saying, add a couple of things to your daily routine and see if you see a shift. Maybe change one thing in your diet, see if you see a shift. And a lot of people are just unaware that the gut impacts so many other body systems, which brings us on to our next slide. Why is the gut so important? And you've already gathered this throughout what we've been saying already, but it doesn't just help you in the bathroom. It can help your skin. It's going to help your mood. It's going to help your energy, your allergies and reducing them, and absolutely your immune system. Yeah. So I'm going to keep chit-chatting right now because this is something that I strongly believe in, and I work with my new clients when I'm working with students on this as well. And this is basically called the gut-brain axes. And there's a big surge in information right now out there that the brain is your brain within your skull is your first brain, and then we have a second brain which is in your gastrointestinal tract. All right, and just think, you know the old saying, like, oh, go with your gut when you make a decision. There's some power in that, and there's some truth in that, because you truly can, basically a lot of what we experience is founded in your gut. Or when you feel nervous, you'll experience those butterflies in your tummy. That's because most of the serotonin that we produce originates in your gut. All right. So the first brain, the one in your skull, it's the master powerhouse. It's the one for thinking and rationalizing everything, right? Or is it? So your second brain is in your gastrointestinal tract, and it can't write you any kind of love note, but it does communicate with everything to control your digestion. So from swallowing to absorption and then elimination, and there's many steps in between. What you might not know is within the cell wall of the gut, there's like a hidden lining almost, where there are thousands and thousands of cells, very similar to the brainstem. All right, very similar. And this brain in your gut is kind of revolutionizing the way that we understand and we treat the connections between the gut and then mood, hormones, and way more.
Right, because also I think it's like, I forget the exact percentage, but is it like 70% of your immune system like starts in your gut, right? As well.
Yeah.
Is how I don't, is there in your gut.
So. It is. So Gina was about to give you some stats there, and this next slide gives you a few more.
All right, let's
so the first and second brain communicate with each other, but the origins may surprise you. So a lot of people assume that the brain comes up with an idea. So maybe, I don't know, you're going into a super big test, you're taking your boards and you're becoming qualified as a doctor or something, I don't know. So you're super nervous, right? People, before they discovered this gut-brain axis, they kind of presumed that your brain is aware of the magnitude of this, and then you get nauseous and nervous in your tummy. It actually is the opposite way around. So because all that serotonin is produced in the gut, the nerves and the unease and the shakiness originates in your gut, and then your brain picks up on those signals. So you really want to make sure that what you're producing in your gut is good and not tainted with processed food and, I don't know, fake supplements and poor diet and too much alcohol every night. Like, I'm all about having a drink, but just be mindful of what you're putting in your gut and how it's being processed. So 80 to 90%, Gina, of everything you experience, whether it's a good immune system, whether it's acne, whether it's migraines, whether it's an emotional shift, 80 to 90% of that originates in your gut. Okay. There's been a link found between IBS, constipation, any kind of functional digestive issue. And just like I was saying before, often these, it was thought that these issues caused anxiety and depression, but more recently, there's been research to prove that actually it's the opposite way around. So a lot of people with IBS, constipation, Crohn's, not Crohn's, because that's more of a genetic thing, but IBS, constipation, maybe diarrhea, a lot of people become depressed because it's unfortunately a really sad existence when you're living with these kind of issues. They're actually saying it's the opposite way around. So,
perfect sense.
Yeah. 95% of serotonin production originates in the gut. We already got that. And then here's a fun thing, and this is something I work a lot with my students on, is the vagus nerve or the vagus nerve, depending on how you want to produce this. So the vagus nerve is kind of on the crown of your head. And that's why a lot of the times with kiddos, I'll recommend you're putting oils on the top of their head, just a drop, copaiba, frankincense, something that's going to pass the blood-brain barrier, ideally a tree oil, something very grounding. The vagus nerve carries messages from the gut to the brainstem, and it engages the limbic system and the hypothalamus. And so basically the limbic system controls, you know, when you inhale something and it kind of makes you feel euphoric, like when you go to the dentist and you use the laughing gas to not feel pain. That's because it's activating your limbic system and kind of relaxing you. All right. So that's your limbic system. And your hypothalamus is responsible for the fight or flight mode in your brain. And we all know that a lot of us are in fight or flight very quickly nowadays for really unreasonable reasons. When you think about what fight or flight used to be, like back in the Stone Age or whatever, when you were faced with a woolly mammoth and you needed to either run or fight it, right? But we react that way if, I don't know, something doesn't get mailed on time. Like some of us will really freak out and our stress levels will, you know, accelerate super high. And there's that's all the vagus nerve. And so by there being such a strong connection between the brain stem with the vagus nerve and then the gut, stress is really impacted by the gut as well. And especially people who seem to be hanging out in that fight or flight really quickly. So you'll probably know, I know with one of my kids, he flies off the handle for a very small reason. And so we're doing a lot of talking about, okay, so your problem and your reaction don't match in size. And that's because he's in fight or flight. He doesn't know how to regulate and just be like, oh, really? We're out of Cheerios? Darn it. You know, it's like, it's the end of the world. So by kind of trying to use your calming oils to reduce your stress, you're going to keep that vagus nerve functioning correctly.
Fascinating. I did not know that 95% of serotonin production originates in the gut. So that's a really cool fact.
Right. So you want to make sure your gut is healthy.
Absolutely. And we're going to share some tricks.
Definitely. Eugenia?
So, yeah, sure. Simple tricks to improve your digestion. So here you go. Morning, noon, and night. Here are some things, you know, if you're having troubles that you can try. Warm water and lemon oil. That's a great way to start your morning. Flushes out, you know, toxins that have been sitting and building up overnight. So just a great way, also energizing. So it's a really nice way to start your morning and good for your body. Terrazyme. So this is the digestive enzyme that is so important. Digestive enzymes are responsible for like every function of our body. And so to give your body that boost in those enzymes, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that these deplete over time in our body. That we have them naturally, but they deplete over time. And so then we need to kind of reboost that, those enzymes. So having a Terrazyme with every meal, really, if you're having a lot of trouble, is a great thing. It just helps break down the food so you can digest it more easily. Did you want to add anything about Terrazyme, Bex? Because I know.
Terrazyme, just so you can kind of get your head around what it even is. It's a little bit like, so when you're first chewing your food, your saliva almost is like a digestive enzyme in that it breaks down the food so you're able to swallow it. We used to produce a lot more natural digestive enzymes in our gut, and we would pull them from our foods. But because the soil quality is not what it used to be, unless you're eating, even if you're eating organic, in all honesty, we're just not getting enough digestive enzymes in our diet. And so by supplementing with them, you're gonna lose a lot of the bloat around your rib cage. You're going to find that it should help with like, you know, some sensitivities to certain food groups. It's not going to take care of it, but it is going to allow your body to process it out much easier. It basically will turn something solid and stodgy into something movable and more like mush.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got food that you've eaten and it's stuck in pockets of your gut, because your gut is made of pockets, if it gets stuck there, which would then be, I think, colitis,
Mm-hmm.
if it gets stuck, and it can get infected, and that's when people get really sick. That's kind of an extreme case, but it happens. And so what you want to do is be able to break down all of that food so that if it is stuck and not shifting, this will help it move. It's not something that's gonna have you run to the bathroom. Like, it's not like, that's not the goal of it, you know. If that's happening, you probably want to ease up, or maybe you had a lot to lose initially. But it's just a really great way to break that food down once again, just like the saliva did in your mouth initially.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, side story. My boyfriend had an upset stomach, and I don't know what it is. He's he's a male. He's hard-headed. Like, I'll just like, but whenever it comes to his stomach, he won't even take Pepto. And I'm like, oh my, and I get so frustrated. So I'm like, here, and I give him my digestive, I'm like, take any of these. And he's like, but what if it makes me have to go run to the bathroom again? Like, and he was on his way to work, and I'm like, you're gonna be fine, just take 8. Like, and sure enough, he felt better.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, I won't say I told you so, but I told you so.
But I'm gonna tell everybody else on a recording.
Yeah, it is a really great product, and it's very, it doesn't cause any more issues. It definitely helps. Reducing dairy, that's always the first thing that, you know, anyone, any health food person, you know, doctor, whatever, skin doctor, if you're having skin issues, like, that's the first thing, because dairy can be very, a lot of people have issues with dairy.
It's a very complex protein to digest.
Yeah.
And so it has a lot of issues. And even with the learning side that I do, a lot of the time, if kiddos are having a really hard time with behavior and focus and attention, reducing dairy can make a massive difference, because especially milk. Back in the day in England, you used to get your milk delivered and the cream would be on top and the milk would be at the bottom, and you'd have to shake it to mix it. They now homogenize it. And that's a process where they're putting hormones and goodness knows what else in there to keep it from splitting. Get your head around that. Like, they're actually doing something to the milk to stop it splitting, to, you know, because the cream doesn't always rise apparently anymore, unfortunately. Right. And so it's that process of homogenization that can clog up the process, like it's almost like a hose pipe from the ear to the brain, where information is received auditorily and then goes to the brain for us to produce, for us to like process and then reproduce whatever we're thinking it means. And so a lot of the time, if you're feeling like your kids aren't hearing you or understanding what you're asking of them, or not following 2-step directions, or even your husband's, right? Potentially think about what milk they're drinking. Either reduce it, kick it out, improve it, do something. Dairy is a nightmare for it. On a learning side. Sorry.
No, that's fascinating. With my son, he's always had an issue with dairy, and so we cut it out, but he loves yogurt. And we get like a Greek organic yogurt, but lately I'm noticing he's getting these, we thought it was athlete's foot, but he's getting his toes get really painful and kind of red and inflamed. And I'm like, I think it's the yogurt, buddy. And so it's very interesting, like how that shows up on his toes as like inflammation and almost like eczema looking stuff. But so we're cutting it back out because when we do cut it back out, he doesn't have the flare ups. So yeah, it's crazy. You know, something that maybe you wouldn't think about. Okay, lifelong vitality. You guys, this is what changed. Well, when I first started with my doTERRA products and my journey, like I said, I was constipated. It was painful. But I wasn't really seeking help. I was just kind of dealing with it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, let's try to fix this. And our upline did like 14-day cleanse. And so I did that with her. And I cut out a lot of like snack foods and different, we cut out obviously gluten and dairy and um, wine at the time that I was having like every night. Not a lot, but just like a glass or whatever. And then we added in the lifelong vitality supplements, which you guys have heard me talk about every time we do one of these Zoom calls, but that was huge for me, just giving my body like the nutrients it needed. And we also added the Terrazyme. So it was helping break down my foods and also giving me like nutrients that I thought I ate healthy. And like Beck said, you don't know how
You
you're
don't
going
know.
to feel until you try to clean it up, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, like the energy and the skin and the digestion, like almost overnight, just was helped. And so I swear by the lifelong vitality, because we do need to make sure our body is getting those vitamins and minerals and the omegas there that we're not getting from our food sources. So anyway, I swear by it. And then Digest Zen, another thing I swear by. And so we'll show you more of the all the different products the Digest Zen line has, but and they keep, you know, expanding it because it's just such a great line and it's helped so many people. So we will show you more about that. So then noon, again, Terrazyme with a meal. Bone broth is amazing for your body. It just feeds you with collagen and nutrients and minerals that are amazing. And then hydrating with citrus oils, lemon, wild orange. Do you put bergamot in your water? Bergamot?
I don't. I like green mandarin though. That's one of my favorites, or
Yeah.
a combination of everything. But the idea is with citrus oils that they're very detoxing and cleaning. And so you want to be putting those oils in your water all the time just to kind of keep your system clean and fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh.
And you don't need a lot, just a drop or two. Don't want to go crazy with those, but like a drop or two is great. And then your lifelong vitality, again, in the noontime or shortly after lunch is a good time to take the second dose. And the reason some people, when they start this supplement, they're like kind of taken aback by all the pills you have to take. And the reason for that, and it's a really good reason, is that it's whole food and they've broken it down in a way your body can absorb it. And it's not like, the women's one a day where it's like a vitamin it's hard as a rock and everything is just crunched in. And then your body has trouble digesting that and can't really use it. And so you just,
and truthfully, there's no way they could get all of that in one pill. And so instead of doTERRA like following along and jumping on the bandwagon of, okay, everybody just wants a one a day, so let me try and reduce what I'm shoving into this and give you the best I can, doTERRA lead from the front and say, no, you need omegas separately to a whole food supplement, separate to some kind of cellular complex, and they hold strong. They lead from the front and they provide excellent quality products. Nothing compares to them. Did you hear about that study they did, Gina, about somebody had the delightful job of searching through porta potty collections? I don't really know what to call it. Collections.
Wow.
And pretty much every brand available in Costco, let's say that, those supplements were found whole in there.
Wow.
In there.
That's crazy.
doTERRA ones were never found. And it wasn't a doTERRA company that did the study. It was a couple of years ago that I heard about this from one of my other leaders. And I was like, that is fascinating. Wow. And she's like, yeah, doTERRA's name and not on that list. And there were other MLMs on that list, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's amazing. We have heard about like the extensive research they have done to produce the lifelong vitality supplements, and they have gone deep in the research and the people, the scientists that they've hired, and it's a great product. And it's also, if you try it and you don't love it, they give you your money back. But I swear by that supplement.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It really is. It really is. And for anybody, especially, I mean, aging bodies, young kids, I would say from being like mid-teens, it's a phenomenal product. It really is.
My teenagers take it, and Cooper as well, who's 13. Like, I give him the omega a lot of the time, and then the vitamin and mineral as well. But yeah, so.
Mm-hmm.
I swear by it. And then at night, with your meal, Terrazyme and the probiotic PB Assist, and then milk thistle or zendocrine complex. You want to talk about that, Bex?
Milk thistle is it's known in the apothecary world to be phenomenally supportive of your liver, and your liver is your master organ. And people, obviously, what's your most important organ? Oh, it's your heart. Yeah, sure it is, but your liver cleans everything that your heart then produces and pumps around your body. So if your liver is not functioning, you're just pumping poor quality around your body, which again, we don't realize how lower quality and lower level we're functioning at until we do fully clean up. But yeah.
Now, the PB Assist, I will say that I've had several friends who, have taken probiotics for years. And when they tried this, they were like, oh, Gina, this is a really good, like, I love the quality of this. And the capsule is, it's a double encapsulated capsule. So it gets down into your gut before releasing the probiotics. So it's a really great product. But also what I did learn from my naturopath is that you should once in a while switch up your probiotic, because they do have different strains of the bacteria, and it's good to rotate them because your body needs the different strains, right? So
yeah,
so that's also a good little tidbit. Okay, so if you really have some gut issues, it all is what you're eating is a huge piece of that. And you don't want to just band-aid your issues, right? You want to really, what's the word? You want to get to the root of the problem, and what you're eating could be causing issues. So it's just important to look at what you're eating. And that's why it's great to do a cleanse, because a lot of times it has you, eliminate certain things and then bring them back in slowly. And also just focusing on putting really good things in, which some of us, we get lazy, and it's hard to eat healthy. It's not easy, but if you plan and you cut up your veggies and you make sure you always have, organic fruits and vegetables available easily, you got it, you have to just make it easy for yourself. Food prepping ahead of time, right? So definitely, pay attention to what you're eating and switch it up. So naturopath, I love that, sometimes you do need help to figure out what you have going on. Do you have bacterial overgrowth? Do you have yeast? Do you have parasites that are affecting your gut health? So if you're really struggling, it is good to get, an experienced person, dietitian, to help you out.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right? And then food and supplements can help repair your gut. So good probiotics, good prebiotics, digestive.
PB Assist is both. PB Assist is both. It's both a pro and a prebiotic. So you would be good. But like Gina says, you do want to maybe once a year just switch up and do something else.
Yeah. And then go back.
And then go back. Yes, Gina.
And then fish oil. So omegas are huge. And then that is one of the, supplements in the Lifelong Vitality trio.
Mm-hmm.
And
the omegas from doTERRA alone appear a little pricey. But if you buy all 3 Lifelong Vitality supplements, it only costs you like $20 more for all three of them. I just thought I'd mention that. So
Yeah,
if you start looking online at one of them, or you'll be like, oh, that's expensive. But if you're on the LRP program where you're ordering every month, you get access to ordering all 3 of them, and it saves you an awful lot of money.
I think it's $79.50 for all 3 supplements. And I tell all my girlfriends, I'm like, just try it. Just start with this because it's going to be a really good base. It's gently cleansing out your body all the time. So I tell everyone, just try it if you're, and see how you feel. See if you feel better.
Yeah,
Especially at my age, we're getting a little up there, and it also helps with your hormone balance, which is huge.
Oh yeah.
I've
heard restless leg syndrome has disappeared with it. Many things I've heard, many benefits.
Like chronic knee pain, energy, hormone balance, like I said, yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I ask you a question about the fish oil? Is it actually fish oil?
Yeah, but there is a vegan one, Sang.
Yeah. So the omega blend is a blend of fish oils and plant oils, like
plant and marine based oils. Yeah.
Yes. But they do have a vegan version which is completely plant-based.
Okay.
So that's an option.
Yeah.
Good
question.
Yes. Addressing your lifestyle habits can also help. So, your stress, your sleep, like thinking about all of that and how that is playing a role. Okay. And so this was from everydayhealth.com, 9 signs of an unhealthy gut and what you can do about it. That's where I got that information. Nice. So things Bex and Gina do. I really focus on what I'm eating first. And that has been a huge, change just on how I feel and then how my gut is functioning. I have my warm tea every morning, and I'm learning more and more about how nutritional tea is. Like green tea is what I usually start with, but rooibos tea, I don't know if everybody drinks that one. Rooibos, I think that. And then like a Earl Grey or like a breakfast tea. Those have really, and you want to get a good quality, like you want to make sure it's coming from a good source, it's organic. Not all teas are created equally.
England, if it's from England, it's better tea.
Yeah. And, Japanese green tea. Anyway, but tea has some, and I can maybe post the article I read about this, but it was very interesting. So warm tea every morning, the lemon water as well, warm lemon water, mineral water, I think is really important, making sure because not all water is created equally either. And a lot of our, bottled water has the minerals sucked out of it. So you want to make sure you're getting magnesium in your water. So you want to make sure you're spending a little more on your water and making sure it's good quality. The Lifelong Vitality, swear by it. And then as support, I use the digestive and peppermint because I do have a sensitive gut. And so if I, beans, they don't agree with me. Cheese doesn't really agree with me. I don't drink milk, but cheese for sure. Like goat cheese is great, but cow cheese, dairy cheese is
cow cheese.
Yeah, that does not agree with me. So then I use my digestive and my peppermint. The yarrow palm supplement I love for skin inside and out health, but it also helps my gut. So as it's cleaning up, because again, your skin is giving off, things are getting pushed out of your skin that your body doesn't like, right? And so I found that the yarrow palm supplement is really cleaning from the inside out and helps you. That's,
But it's very purging. It's very purging, both emotionally and physically. So it could just be that it's kind of keeping the bad out,
Yeah. So good stuff. Rotating the probiotic. And then I do Terrazyme here and there. I really probably need to start doing that more often. So.
Yeah.
But it was.
I'm like, yep, you do. Everybody does. Okay, so we're very similar. Obviously, I tried not to eat the rainbow, but that's what I wanted to start with. But obviously try to eat a rainbow. So I always start with water and lemon in the morning with a little bit of Himalayan salt, because I truly feel like I drink water all day long, but I don't truly absorb it. And that Himalayan salt in the morning really helps me absorb water better through the day and feel more hydrated. Terrazyme at least twice daily, unless I'm doing a detox, and then it's much more. But I'll generally take Terrazyme first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with my lemon water and salt. And then I will most likely do it one more time in the day with my largest meal. I also, if I'm drinking alcohol, will take pretty much 1 or 2, maybe 3 that evening, because it just helps my body process the sugar out. Probiotic at night, so the PB assist at night. Zendocrine complex at night, so that milk thistle, very supportive for the liver, and the XCO omegas at night I do as well. I like to take a lot of things at night. Here's why. All day long I'm moving, I'm busy, my body is working hard at just functioning. At bedtime I'm resting, and so I let my gut do its work while I'm asleep, basically. For me, the oils that we use most if we have any kind of tummy issues, or for me, I get hiccups. I get hiccups a lot. I don't know if that's digestive. I'm really not sure. But it generally will follow if I've eaten something that I normally don't feel. Like it's like I almost like get indigestion, and my indigestion changes into hiccups, right? It's weird. Peppermint touch or tamer. Love those two. Straight in the belly button, and then kind of from the chin all the way down to the belly button, like down the esophagus line. Citrus oils in your water all day long. I do detox a couple of times a year. I highly recommend it. I've actually today's my last day of completing a 10-day. We're thinking about doing one every season. So like a new season, new you, basically. It's a great way to like take off your spring jacket and step into summer. It's a great way to take off your summer jacket and move into fall. It's just to reset that gut flora and fauna and make sure that you are as clean and as high functioning as you think you are. This is a good one. Eat in season food. Veggies and fruits I'm talking about. So then you're more likely to be eating something that's much more organic and naturally occurring versus trying to get, I don't know, pomegranates now. You know, like they don't grow right now. So if you're getting a pomegranate right now, somebody has somehow, I don't know, artificially created. I don't know how they do it, but people can do it. Or I mean, they could be shipped in, but then do you really want food that's been on a boat for days? I don't know. Just try and eat in season foods.
Yeah.
And then limit your alcohol. I should highlight that one.
Let me highlight it.
Right. Thanks for that.
No, I think that's really interesting. The whole, idea of eating foods that the earth is growing, like the earth knows what we need. Right. And so I think that's very interesting. I also love a little peppermint, like right under my tongue. And I do it in my belly button as well if I'm, having any digestive upset, but I love it right under my tongue, just a little drop.
Yeah. Definitely. And then speaking of peppermint, Gina's going to talk a little bit about this. We've just got these visuals here for you so you know what you're looking for if you're hopping onto your doTERRA website, your account. But I did want to talk about the last thing in this image, which is the peppermint soft gels. Now, these soft gels are enteric coated, which means that the peppermint is allowed to get way deep down in your gut before it's absorbed and digested. There was a lot of research done. It was finalized across the board. Peppermint is the best thing to support your gut and any kind of gut flare-ups, gut issues. Okay, it's the best single oil you can use. Yes, we have digestive, which is a combination, which is phenomenal because it has more things to it. But peppermint, if you're going for a single oil, pep's your best. And the issue with a lot of the peppermint products is they digest and metabolize too high up in your system. And so if you've got digestion issues, reflux, indigestion, kind of that's higher up, you're good to go with regular peppermint, peppermint touch, peppermint beadlets. if you're looking for something that is way lower down in your GI tract, that's more challenging, that could be something that you're dealing with on the daily, peppermint soft gels, you need to try. You need to try them. And I would highly recommend taking them probably once daily, maybe twice. Just give it 2 weeks and see if you notice those issues that you're working through change.
Yeah. I once had a customer, I don't know how they found, through a friend, they found me. And this man was on a like liquid diet for months. Like they could not figure out what was going on with his he had some major issues. He was in the hospital, and it was some major gut stuff, but he kept ordering the Digest Zen soft gels, and he's like, it was the best thing ever. And it just like it helped heal his gut, and then he was able to eat solid food. And because he was desperate, he was like, I have to, I can't go on.
Yeah.
I can't go on with this liquid diet. So anyway, that it's a great product, the Digest Zen, and the peppermint as well. And we didn't have that at that point, but that might have been something I would have also suggested for him. But anyway, he doesn't order from me anymore because he's all good. So that's a good thing. Foundation. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the lifelong vitality. And so here are the 3 different things if you aren't familiar. So there's the cellular blend, which is your energy and, getting rid of your old cells. I mean, cell health is huge. So that is a great blend. Then you have the omegas, so the fatty acids, and the, also essential oils in there. So you're getting, what is in there? Peppermint, I know, is in there. Maybe some ginger. I haven't read that label in a while, but
which one?
Like 9 essential oils in there with the omega. So it's the fatty acids, and then it's essential oils as well. I think frankincense might even be in there.
I think so.
So anyway,
do I have one?
But essential oils that are helping your digestion already, they're in there, so that's good. And then you have the vitamins and minerals, and so then also, so this is part of your foundation, the probiotic and the Terrazyme, and then these are to help support as well. But this, Bex and I highly recommend that as where you start your base.
Definitely.
All right, what else? Okay, so here's some more protocols and roller ideas. And so obviously first you want to think about, for irritable bowels or constipation, what, you got to get to the root of the problem. So what can you do with your diet? What can you maybe cut out? What can you change? What can you put in more of? And Bex and I, are happy to help if you guys have specific questions. And then you want to make sure you're taking your supplements, good quality supplements. And then for irritable bowels, Bex, you want to talk about that more? Because
I pulled just some snippets off of my Essentially Bex page, and I will, anybody who wants to be tagged, like I said, or you can just go into the search page and put like, I don't know, like digestion, number 1, number 2. I did like 5 days worth of stuff like this. But for irritable bowels, I just pulled the 2 extremes. So irritable bowels, you want to make yourself a roller with lavender, tea tree, frankincense, and Digest Zen. You're going to apply it to your stomach twice daily. And you're going to make that roller in a 10 ml roller, 8 to 10 drops of each, and then top it up with fractionated coconut oil. And then they're wanting you to also incorporate the Exio Omegas and PB Assist twice a day. So making that roller and taking those 2 supplements is a simple protocol idea to add to whatever you're doing, like with your lifelong vitality, improving your diet. But if you literally are like, okay, I'm just going to try one thing, try that roller, try making that roller, rolling it down twice a day, and let's just see how it goes. For constipation, obviously, like Gina says, you want to think about what you're eating. You want to be taking your lifelong vitality. So there's Terrazyme with every meal. But PBS is going to be really important here. And then clary sage and petitgrain. So you're going to apply 2 to 3 drops of clary sage and petitgrain to the stomach in a clockwise direction 3 times daily. Or just make a roller of those oils, 10, maybe 20 drops of each oil, and then top it up with fractionated coconut oil. But they were very specific in the directions of this whole applying to the stomach and rubbing it in a clockwise direction. Yes. And then, like Gina says, don't forget the emotions.
I just ran to get my emotional book. I was just looking at, so did you do the constipation already too?
Sure did.
Oh, you're quick.
I am. Does my speed impress you?
Yes. So just a little, touching on this, indigestion is in here, and some of the emotional pieces that could be causing that. Feeling everyone is against you, feel you need to fight your way through life, feelings of anxiety, fear of losing job or losing security, lack of understanding what, how, when, where, or why in life. So that could be related to indigestion. Constipation, let me see here. Irritable bowel isn't in here.
Oh, really?
Colitis, overly concerned with order. Worrying excessively, feelings of oppression, feelings of defeat, feeling a need for more affection. The colon, bottled up hate. Let's see.
For those of you who might not know, Gina has this amazing book that she's flicking through real quickly, because any physical symptom most likely has an emotional root. And so she's trying to look up real quick, if we find constipation, if you're struggling with constipation, what emotions are directly connected with that? And if any of those resonate with you, you apply oils to address the emotional issue, as well as doing, whatever you want to do for your digestion as well, but add that to your protocol. Correct, Gina?
Yes, absolutely. Constipation here, constantly fretting, unwilling to release old feelings and beliefs, resisting the flow of life, blocking what you want to say, feelings of anxiety, unresolved problems, determined to carry on. So yeah, exactly. Applying essential oils that can help with your emotions can also help with physical issues.
Definitely. And now we know that most of what we experience outside of our body and in every kind of body system originates in the gut as well. You do really want to be protecting those emotions and then healing your gut so that we are the best version of ourselves.
At the same time, yes, exactly.
And with that said, that's it, friends. That's all, folks. Did we have any? Yeah, does anybody have any questions?
No, I've been actually taking the PB assist and when I remember to take it. That's the hardest part, is remembering to take them. But yeah, when I take it, I definitely have been feeling the difference. So I think that's why I was pushing him so hard. It's like, your stomach's upset, take something. I don't care. Here's your allotment of things you can pick. And so, and we're actually both of us have been eating a lot better the last few, he loves sweets. And so I think he was kind of overdoing it at night, and it was really messing with his stomach. And so I'm like, just take it. It's, what's the worst that can happen? Oh wait, nothing.
Right. You know what, Paige, as well, maybe we can chat after this, but there's another product that doTERRA does called the GI Assist. And it's specifically for people who may have candida, which is an overproduction of yeast, which generally shows it rears its ugly head as massive sugar cravings and carb cravings. Basically,
really?
And the idea is that you may have an overgrowth of candida or parasites. We all have parasites. We freak out about it. It's like a thing that exists, but you want to make sure you're maintaining it and keeping it under control. And the GI Assist can be really good to take for, 10 to 20 days, twice daily, just to
Okay.
kind of make a very, not a very pleasant environment, so that basically your gut doesn't become a great host for anything that may be breeding in there that we don't want.
Yeah, and then slowly each month I'm like trying new ones and stuff. So yeah, I'd be more than willing to try a new one.
Yeah, I would pop that on there. I'm actually going to start taking mine tomorrow because I've just done my detox, so now I'm going to follow that up with 10 days of the GI Assist.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I also wanted to show you guys my really quick. This is my like old lady pill like organizer that I got from Target. So this might help you, Paige. But you can line everything out for 7 days. For morning and night, it's 2 different spots. Plus, it comes out. So if you are, going somewhere to work or whatever,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can take it with you. So if you forget in the morning. And I had a hard time opening up all the bottles every day and, getting them out. And I was like, okay, let's just make
it. They annoy me. There's so many bottles as well. It bugs me.
Yeah. So this is just a Target. But I love that I love the fact that you can take it with you on the run.
That's cool.
Just makes
Thank you.
Simplify.
Sam, we better get one.
Simplify. All right. Are we good? I have 12% on my computer, so I guess we got to stop talking.
Right, that's it. See ya.
Thanks
for joining us. Thanks for, sharing. Sharing is caring. And
sure is.
We'll post for our next topic real soon, huh?
Definitely, and then we'll post the recording as well. Feel free to share with people.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, my loves. We will see you all soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.